Breaking. Nigel Farage just went live and told Keir Starmer to resign now or else, and what he hinted at next could shake Westminster to its core. Is this the beginning of the end for Starmer? Let's get into it.
Welcome to Power and Policy UK, your front row seat to the biggest political battles shaping Britain. Straight facts, sharp analysis, no spin.
Tonight, British politics just took a dramatic turn, and if you thought things couldn't get any more intense at Westminster, think again. Nigel Farage has gone live with a message that's sending shockwaves across the country. His words? Resign now, or a warning directed squarely at Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and the timing could not be more explosive. As pressure mounts on the Labour government from all sides, internal unrest, policy backlash, economic anxiety, and rising Reform UK momentum, Farage is positioning himself not just as a critic, but as the man waiting in the wings. Let's break down exactly what happened, why it matters, and what this could mean for the future of British politics.
Earlier today, Nigel Farage addressed supporters and media in a fiery statement that many are calling one of his most aggressive challenges yet to the Labour leadership. Standing before a crowd energised by recent polling gains for Reform UK, Farage didn't mince words. He accused Starmer of losing control of the country, losing control of his party, and losing the trust of the British people. He framed the situation as a government teetering on the brink, arguing that the Prime Minister's authority is weaker now than at any point since taking office. According to Farage, Labour's promises on immigration, economic stability, and public services have not translated into visible results, and voters are beginning to lose patience. The phrase "resign now" wasn't followed by a specific threat. Instead, it was left hanging deliberately. The implication? Either step down voluntarily or face the political consequences at the ballot box, in Parliament, and in public opinion. That rhetorical strategy is classic Farage. It creates drama, headlines, and momentum. It invites supporters to fill in the blank themselves, and it pressures opponents to respond. But here's the bigger story. Reform UK has been steadily building traction. While not yet dominant, recent polling trends have shown increased support among voters frustrated with both Labour and the Conservatives. Many feel that traditional parties are out of touch with everyday concerns, especially around immigration, taxation, and national sovereignty. Farage capitalized on that sentiment. During the live appearance, he argued that Labour's approach to border control has failed to curb illegal crossings, that economic policies are burdening small businesses, and that Britain is drifting without a clear long-term strategy. He painted a picture of a country stuck in uncertainty and presented Reform UK as the alternative. Now, whether you agree with him or not, you cannot deny one thing. He understands political theater. The "resign now" demand puts Starmer in a difficult position. If he ignores it, Farage can claim arrogance. If he responds directly, he legitimizes Reform UK's challenge. If internal Labour critics echo similar frustrations, even quietly, it amplifies the perception of instability. And perception in politics is often as powerful as reality. So why is this happening now? There are a few factors converging at once. First, economic pressure remains a sensitive issue. Although inflation has shown signs of easing compared to previous highs, many households still feel squeezed. Mortgage rates, rent costs, energy bills, these are not abstract statistics, they're daily realities.
When people feel financially insecure, they become more politically volatile. Second, immigration remains one of the most emotionally charged debates in British politics. Small boat crossings, asylum processing backlogs, and questions about border enforcement continue to dominate headlines. Reform UK has built much of its platform around a hardline stance on these issues. Third, Labour's broad coalition of voters, which helped bring it to power, includes both progressive urban constituencies and more socially conservative working-class areas. Balancing those interests is no easy task. When one side feels ignored, cracks begin to show. Farage's message is designed to widen those cracks. In his speech, he suggested that Britain needs what he called a political reset. He framed Starmer as emblematic of establishment politics, cautious, lawyerly, incremental, while presenting himself as direct, unapologetic, and willing to challenge consensus thinking. He also hinted that Reform UK is preparing for an aggressive campaign strategy. While he stopped short of announcing specific electoral moves, the tone suggested confidence. He spoke of momentum, grassroots energy, and a movement that's only just beginning. For Starmer, the immediate question is control. Does he project steadiness and dismiss Farage's noise, or does he pivot policy to neutralize the threat? Historically, Farage has had an outsized influence on British politics relative to his party's seat count. His pressure campaigns have shifted national debates before. Whether through the Brexit referendum era or through broader anti-establishment messaging, he has demonstrated an ability to reshape conversations. This time, however, the political landscape is different. Labour holds power. The Conservatives are recalibrating after electoral setbacks, and Reform UK is attempting to occupy a space that blends populist rhetoric with promises of governmental competence. The phrase "Starmer nears the brink" might sound dramatic, but in politics, brinkmanship is about narrative. Is the government stable and methodical, or fragile and reactive? Farage is betting that enough voters are leaning toward the latter interpretation. Let's also consider media dynamics. Moments like this dominate social platforms. Clips of the "Resign now" or line are already circulating. Supporters are sharing it as evidence of bold leadership. Critics are dismissing it as grandstanding. But either way, attention has shifted. And attention is political currency. There's another layer here, too. Internal party psychology. Even a small dip in approval ratings can trigger anxiety among MPs in marginal constituencies. If Reform UK begins siphoning votes in key districts, Labour strategists will have to respond strategically. Farage understands that pressure isn't just applied at the top, it seeps downward. What could happen next? Scenario 1. Starmer doubles down, emphasizing policy delivery, economic data improvements, and long-term plans. He avoids engaging directly with Farage and frames Reform UK as a distraction. Scenario 2. Labour recalibrates on specific issues, perhaps tightening rhetoric or accelerating visible reforms to blunt Reform UK's appeal. Scenario 3. Political volatility increases. Polling shifts further. Media narratives intensify. And Reform UK gains negotiating leverage in public debate. Of course, it's also possible that today's fireworks fade quickly. Politics moves fast. Headlines turn over. New controversies emerge. But the symbolism of this moment matters. When a party leader publicly calls on a sitting prime minister to resign, it signals ambition, it signals readiness, it signals that the challenger believes the ground beneath the incumbent is unstable. Farage's message wasn't subtle, it wasn't technocratic, it was emotional, confrontational, and designed for maximum impact. And here's the strategic brilliance. By leaving the sentence unfinished, he created a cliffhanger. Resign now or what? Electoral defeat? Parliamentary rebellion? Public backlash? The ambiguity keeps the conversation alive. For viewers watching tonight, the key takeaway is this. British politics is entering another volatile phase. The traditional two-party dynamic is being tested. Voter loyalty is more fluid than it once was, and personalities matter more than ever. Whether Nigel Farage can convert rhetoric into parliamentary power remains to be seen. Whether Keir Starmer can maintain authority amid mounting criticism will define the coming months. But one thing is certain, this confrontation has escalated the political temperature. If you're following UK politics closely, now is the time to pay attention. Policy decisions made in the next few weeks could shape narratives for years. So what do you think? Is this a serious challenge to the Prime Minister's leadership, or just another headline-grabbing moment? Is Reform UK tapping into genuine public frustration, or riding temporary waves? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure you subscribe for in-depth political analysis. Hit the like button to support the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next major development. Because in British politics right now, anything can happen. This is Power and Policy UK, where strategy meets reality. Subscribe now and stay ahead of the headlines.